In Autie vs. Autie Meter Part 209, Parenthood, one of the kids in the show, Max, is autistic and he gets diagnosed in the second episode of the first season. And overall, I think this representation was really progressive for its time. This is right in the era where we're starting to see canonically autistic characters in film and television functioning for the first time, and it's clear that they put a lot of effort into it. He's diagnosed with Asperger's, as was the clinical language at the time for his level support needs, and the doctor they worked with spoke like a real doctor would. The dad was very much like, "Great, you're a behaviorist. Here's the list of his issues I want to fix." And the doctor said, "This is not a fixable condition, and while there are ways that he can be better accommodated and able to live life, they need to meet him where he's at," which the parents agree to do and do well. The insistence from another set of parents of an autistic kid that they need to put him on lots of diets, specifically the one that derives from theories adjacent to the Andrew Wakefield situation, was not my favorite, but that was more typical at the time than it is now, and it was also not advice given by a doctor, so that is something. My one critique would be that over the course of the next seasons that span like 5 years, it doesn't seem like the representation really grew up with the show, if that makes any sense. The early to mid 2010s were a huge shift in understandings of autism and how it was portrayed in media, and seeing Max in later seasons, they kind of left him where he was in the first episode. We don't see him learn new coping skills or really use accommodations very much. They don't let him grow up as a person really at all, which is of course complicated because he's developmentally disabled, so he would grow up differently. But autistic people also grow up, and I don't feel like they allowed him to do that at all, which often led him into situations where he seemed unable to understand clear boundaries or consent in a way that an autistic person at his level of support needs would be very capable of. It started to feel like atypical in later seasons, if that makes sense. For a modern audience, the rep is fairly outdated, but it was overall pretty historically strong. I was just disappointed by later seasons and think they could have done better than they did, but I was also watching various episodes haphazardly throughout, so if you've seen the show in its entirety, let me know your thoughts.